In this February release of Home Assistant, we are going to see some really good updates. So let's look at those. With a lot of feedback around backup revamp, in the previous release, that is a Jan release of 2025, we have some significant changes in how we can configure our backups. Firstly, we now have an option to disable encryption for backups. In the backup settings, under the location section, you now have this option to turn off the encryption and the backups will be stored unencrypted. However, if you are using Nabu-Casa Cloud as your backup location, then the encryption cannot be turned off. This is to ensure data privacy and security of the backups that are uploaded to the Nabu-Casa Cloud. In the previous version, when you downloaded your backups, it would be downloaded in the encrypted format. It shows this message when you try to download the backup and you cannot open its contents. But with this version, you can now download the backups unencrypted and open it using any archiving tool to extract its contents. Now this works irrespective of whether you have configured encryption for your backups or not. Now you have an option to change the schedule of the backups. Previously, the backup time was fixed at 4:45 AM. In this release, in the schedules, you can change it to custom days and then select the days of the week you want the backup to take place. Then you have this time option which will be set to system optimal time, and you can now change the time when the backup can be taken. This is something many of us wanted, and we now have this option in this release. Now, if you want to take full control when the backup is created, or you want to trigger it as a result of a certain event, you now have this automated backup action that you can use in your automations. This provides you with the flexibility of taking automated backups when using automations. Another option that was removed from the previous release was a toggle for taking backups before you update your Home Assistant and the add-ons. With a lot of feedback from the Home Assistant community, this option is now back again with a small adjustment, that is the toggle is off by default and you can turn it on before you perform an update. It also now shows you the last time when the backup was taken, so you can make an informed decision whether or not to take a backup. Now, in case of add-on updates, it only takes a backup of the add-on as compared to taking full backup when you are updating Home Assistant. Next, we now have two more locations on saving backups. One is Google Drive and the other one is OneDrive. You can now add these locations by adding Google Drive and OneDrive integrations. Once you do that, you will get these locations in the automated backup settings. Now, our private voice assistant is getting a few updates. In this release, you can broadcast a message to all your voice assistants in your house by using the broadcast keyword before your message. With this release, you can now also set the temperature on your thermostat using the voice assistant. Now, if you have configured a large language model conversation agent in your voice assistant, then the LLM agent can now read your calendar events, which can be used to give you better responses related to your calendar events. Back in December, Home Assistant had introduced the option for LLM agents to be fallbacks for complex queries. But with that, the conversation was not shared between the two agents. So then, when a command ran locally and the next command ran on the cloud, it would not know anything about the previous commands. Now, starting with this release, both the agents will share the command history to have a better output. Now, along with these improvements, our awesome Home Assistant community members have added some new integrations in Home Assistant. Along with these two new integrations that enables adding your backups to Google Drive and OneDrive. So if you like to see such updates around Home Assistant, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as hit that like button for more such videos to come. Now you can support this channel via Patreon or just by buying me a coffee. Till then, take care and I will see you in my next one.